Last time, we tackled about various art forms in visual arts and performance arts. Forms of visual arts are fine arts and decorative arts. Forms of performance arts are music, dance, and theater. Contemporary art forms are also present in visual arts and performance arts. Art defined as a communication of thoughts and expression of feeling through creativity, skills, imagination, and passion. Contemporary arts emerge at present. Styles and techniques become experimental. Now, we are going to tackle various art forms that can be found in the Philippines. To identify various art forms found in the Philippines, we need to understand the history of arts in our country. Let's relate the part of music video Piliin Mo Ang Pilipinas sung by Angeline Quinto to our topic. Our country is not only rich in natural resources, we also have diverse culture. That's why we have lively tourism in our country. One component of our culture is the arts that each of regions in the Philippines have. It is really unique and we are proud we have this kind of treasure. In the beginning of our civilization in the Philippines, we already developed arts until now. Since then, arts can be manifested to the way of living that they have. Ancient Filipinos has carving, houses, pottery, jewelry, weapons, weaving, and even painting. Painting can be seen through their body tattoo and drawing at the caves, just like in Gona Binangonan petroglyphic site. Art during this era were influenced by the Western and inspired by Byzantine, Gothic, and Baroque style. Most artworks are religious based. Some painters during this era: Joseph Luciano Dance, Esteban Villanueva, Damian Domingo, Juan Luna, and Felix Resurrección Hidalgo. Damian Domingo is also known for having made the first self-portrait in the country. Some sculpture during this era: Juan de los Santos, Bonifacio Arevalo, Jose Rizal, and Mariano Madriñan from Laguna. Ritual, occupational, and imitative dances were modified during this era. Popular dances are jota, fandango, waltz, and habanera. Music were accompanied by guitar. It is conservative and religious. Condiman and harana were the traditional means of serenade emerged during this era. Theater during this era were performed in the street and has religious themes such as panunuluyan, salubong, alay, sinakulo, and tibat. Sarsuelas were a popular form of entertainment for Filipinos, which include singing, dancing, and acting. Americans conquered Philippines through education and governance. They brought high influence of the Filipino art forms. Painters developed new styles, media, technique, forms of expression, and concepts in art. Modern artists also emerged in the middle of colonization of Americans. They favored landscapes, still life, and genre themes that shows the beauty of the lands and its people. Known painters during this era were Fabian de la Rosa and Fernando Amorsolo, who promoted classicism, and others like Miguel Zaragoza, Emilio Albero, Victorio Ciudades, and others who promoted modernism. Artists or sculptors during this era promoted classicism and modernism in their artwork. Guillermo Tolentino dominated sculpture, who promoted classicism, and Napoleon Abueva, who promoted modernism. American influence were Italianate, Victorian, Mission Revival, Neoclassical, Neo-Gothic, and Neo-Renaissance. Printmaking is the process of creating artworks by printing, normally on paper. Printmaking normally covers only the process of creating prints that have an element of originality rather than just being a photographic reproduction of a painting. they not seem to be interested in the art of printmaking. It was only boom during 1960s in our country, but this kind of art started during this era. Americans brought folk, R&B, and rock and roll in our music. They also made music and dance as a part of educational curriculum. Filipinos modified Western music and dance to create local versions of it. Dance created a great impact to us. Social dances were became popular. Filipinos also experimented on ballet dance. One of the outstanding scholars of this era, Francisca Reyes Jauna, brought us the ethnic and folk dances. Sierra focuses on historical background of the Philippines and the relationship between Philippines and the United States. Vaudeville and plays and dramas was promoted. Vaudeville is a mix of songs, dances, comedy skits, and even magical performance. They also introduced Broadway theater or stage play that is westernized like Shakespearean tragedies. Although artistic activity was suspended during this era, some artists still managed to produce artworks. Golden age of literature emerged during the occupation of Japanese in the Philippines. They promoted local language in creating literary arts. Haiku, tanka, and tanaga was also promoted during this period. Japanese musics were imposed and heard daily during this period in radio broadcasts. Oriental musics were promoted. They encouraged creation and performance with native themes. Japanese confiscated all film equipment. Vaudeville, comedia, zarzuela remained as a form of entertainment. After the war, movies returned to the popularity and vaudeville was deteriorated. After the Japanese occupation, artists sprang back to life. Various themes and styles were explored. Modernism in art reached its peak. Modern art emerged through the conflict of rules and views of academy to the innovative methods of modernists. People's art or art of the masses, protest art, social realism, and the institutional of National Artists Award were emerged. Also, 13 modern were formed. Modernists believe in a new way of thinking that art can be more representation of reality. They have more freedom to explore on his own, show love for country and culture, exposed to Eastern and Western culture, and use color for their emotional rather than intellectual values. Concepts like abstraction, cubism, minimalism, surrealism, futurism, impressionism, expressionism, and others were emerged during this period. Filipinos became creative in music and dance during this period. Nationalism amidst colonial influence steered wide. After Japanese occupation, theater was largely performed in English. The concept for paying for a ticket to see a theatrical performance emerged. It is the period where traditional and ethnic art revived. Contemporary sculpture became an integral part of buildings and parks. Artists are expressing their personal feelings and expression in their artworks. Galleries and museums were institutionalized. Avant-garde arts were explored and artists become experimental, innovative, and skillful in their artworks. All possible techniques were present. Artists nowadays produces graffiti, cartoons, arena, landscapes, land art, photography, collage, assemblage, mobile art, and installation art. Also, our music and dance nowadays reflects our identity and influenced by global trends. Artists produces music in Filipino and English. Different genres of music and dance were emerged. Philippine theater staged numerous plays, both English and Filipino.